welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a personal trainer and yoga teacher in the Boston area. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a short yoga practice that can, complement your day in many ways, maybe after a workout or a run, or maybe just something to just kind of disconnect and bring a little bit of energy back into your day. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to find your way down onto your mat. Into child's pose. Let your knees be a little bit wider than hips width apart, drawing the big toes together, and melt your forehead down towards the floor. Let the elbows softly bend, and just release that heavy head down towards the earth. Take a moment to connect to your breath by taking a deep inhale through the nose, slow, long exhale out your mouth. Just taking a moment to let go of whatever you came from, let go of whatever's afterward, and allow yourself to come into this moment. Just taking some time to feel into your body, listen to the sound of your breath, and connect inward. Now as you breathe in and out through the nose, listening to the gentle sound of your breath as it brushes against the back of the throat. And anytime your mind should start to wander, you bring your awareness back to your breath and back into this moment. Knowing that every time we come to our mat, something new may show up. Let's start to shift our way up towards our hands and our knees. Finding your way into a nice tabletop position, line your shoulders up over your wrist and spread your fingers nice and wide. Exhale, round your spine, tucking your tail, tuck your chin, cat pose. Inhale to your sway back out, let the belly drop. Let your gaze lift and your tailbone lift nice and high. Exhale again, round, push the floor away. Create a little space between the shoulder blades. And inhale, lift and lengthen. Start to get a little creative, observing the feelings and sensations in your body. And noticing what's showing up today. Maybe physical, maybe mental. Sometimes the mind can wander off. We continue to bring it back into the breath and back into the feelings and sensations in your body. Let's slow some of that movement down. Coming into a flat back, curl your toes under. Tilt your tail towards the sky and slowly lift the hips. Think of leading with the tailbone, reaching it up and back. Take a moment to just release the tension in the back of the legs by pedaling your heels, bending one knee as you stretch the opposite heel towards the floor. Begin to wiggle your toes around. Start to press out through the hands, out through the fingertips, clawing down gently into the floor. And slowing down some of that pedaling, you'll come up onto your toes. Press through your hands, slowly round your spine. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Let your gaze come out in front of you. Broaden your collarbone and lift the low belly up and in. Exhale, bend the knees and reach those hips up and back. Stretch the heels to the floor. Again, coming up onto the toes, round the spine, hollowing the abdomen as you broaden the collarbone, lift your gaze, pull that low belly in nice and tight. Exhale, bend the knees so they hover above the floor, tilt the tail, and press back to your downward facing dog. Push the floor away. One more time, inhaling as you come forward, hollow out the abdomen, Pause at the top of the inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, bend the knees, tilt the tail, down dog. One more, we come forward to plank and hold plank, nice and firm. Option to lower to your knees. All right, I want you to really feel your toes really pressing down to the ground, lifting those heels right up over the toes. Really actively put in the feet, active through the legs as you squeeze the glutes. Push the floor away and lift that low belly up and in, navel to spine. Knit your ribs in nice and tight. Let your gaze come out in front of you. Take a deep inhale through your nose, slow exhale all the way to the floor. Elbows squeeze into your sides. Press the tops of your feet down towards the ground and engage your legs so much that your kneecaps pop up. Start to squeeze those elbows back, arms right by your ribs. Inhale, little baby cobra. Exhale, lengthen the spine as you lower down. 2 more times, just follow your breath. Gentle inhale as you come up. Exhale, lengthen as you lower down. 1 more time, inhale, coming up. Slide, tuck of the chin, squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, nice and slow, all the way to the floor. Press down through the hands and knees, coming up through tabletop. Round your spine like a cat. Stretch your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose, stretch actively, reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat as you stretch your hips back and down. Let your head land right between your arms. And we'll slowly walk the hands over towards the right. Keep sending your left hip back and down. And you might even take your left hand and put it over your right, interlacing your fingers and feeling that nice stretch and opening through the left side body. Invite some of that nice, gentle breath in through the nose. Feeling the ribs expand and contract. Second side, take it nice and slow over towards the left. Send the right hip back and down. You can interlace the right hand over the left. Keep reaching. Try to let your head fall heavy wherever it is most comfortable for you. Take some deep breaths into the right side body. Waking up those intercostal muscles that are located right between the ribs. Those are our breathing muscles. And then slowly walk your hands back through the center. Inhale, come up to all fours. Curl the toes under. Lift your hips up and back, downward, facing dog pose. Just a little pedal of your heels. And then we'll look forward towards the front of the mat. Slowly walk your feet all the way towards the front of your mat till you come to a ragdoll forward fold. Let your knees bend a lot and grab for opposite elbows. Let your head hang. Let your chin lift it towards your chest and gently sway your torso side to side. Taking in some nice deep inhales. Slow, long exhales. Just letting everything go. Release your fingertips down towards the floor on an inhale. Lift your spine halfway. Little bend in your knees, slide your hands up your shins. Gaze forward, flat back. Exhale, hinging from your hips, fold forward. Release your crown of your head, chin to your chest. Inhale again, coming up halfway, long spine. You can gently press your hands into your thighs to really create that length as you pull the shoulders away from your ears. So the neck spine is long. Exhale, fold. One more time with your breath. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold all the way. Next, inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms up. Wrap those ribs in and down and pull the low belly up and in. Think of navel to spine. Sit your hips back, feel the weight shift into your heels and lift all 10 toes up off the ground. Feel the inner thighs wrapping in and down towards the floor. And see, can you lift your gaze just a little bit out in front of you? Gently relax your toes down to the floor. Take one more big inhale. Exhale to stand, hands to your heart. Grounding down through all four corners of your feet. Just find that little gentle rock forward and back, side to side. Really feeling that grounding down into your feet. Reconnect with your breath. Inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Send your right leg back nice and long. So stretch that right leg out. Feel those toes come to the floor. And slowly lower your knee down towards the ground. Check to make sure your front knee, your left knee is lined up right over your heel. Let the tail release down on an inhale. Sweep both arms up. Lifting up through the collarbones as you lengthen down through the tail. Turn the palms to face in towards one another. Let the elbows soften. Let the shoulders soften. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, elbows wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the heart. Follow your breath now. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. Slowly rise up. Exhale, elbows wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Release the fingertips down. And inhale, sweep it forward and up. Last one, exhale, elbows wide, heart open. And return your hands to the floor to frame your front foot. And lifting your back knee up off the ground, you're going to swing that left leg up nice and high to a one-legged dog. Here you can explore opening your hip by letting the knee bend and fall just a slight way back behind you. Keep pressing your left hand down into the floor. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. And then slowly straighten that left leg. Start to square your hips. This way you're squaring and flexing your ankles so all 5 toes point down towards the floor. Evenly press through both of your hands. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, round the spine and try to see if you can bring your left knee over towards your right elbow. So if you can kiss your knee to your elbow, shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, unwind, reach it back up again. So working into that core strength, belly in tight, lift that low belly in. Twisting, bringing that left knee towards the right. Shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, reach it up and back. Let's do that one more time. Coming forward to hover, hold, full exhalation out. Inhale, reach it up. This time, knee to nose, step your foot right between your hands. Warrior one, back heel pivots to the floor, sweep both arms up towards the sky. And warrior one, oftentimes you'll hear this cue to square your hips forward, and your hips are not perfectly square, but it's that idea of turning the hips and shoulders towards the front of the mat while pressing that right back heel towards the floor, firming up that right quad. And as you turn the hip, you should feel a nice stretch through the front of that right hip flexor. Release your hands down towards your hips. Straighten your front leg, keeping those hips squared as you prepare for pyramid pose. With an inhale, lift your heart, little baby back bend, and exhale, fold. Press down through your back heel. Once you come about halfway, you can release your fingertips down to the floor or a block. Take one inhale to lift and lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, fold all the way, releasing the crown of the head down towards the toes, chin gently tucked, and steering your hips so that left hip lengthens back. As you steer your right hip forward, keep pressing your right heel down into the ground. Lift your head looking forward to the front of your mat. You can bend that left knee slightly and step your right foot to the front of the mat, coming to a forward fold. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, chair, sink your hips low, sweep the arms up, belly in tight. Stand up, hands to your heart, ground down through all four corners of your feet. Inhale, circle sweep those arms out and up. Lift the heart, little baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lifting up halfway, step the left foot back. Slowly lower your left knee down towards the ground. Again, making sure your right knee is over your heel. Let the tail lengthen down towards the floor as you reach the arms up. Gently pull that right hip back and in, so there's a bit of engagement in these hips as you explore where your flexibility is. Turn the palms to face in towards one another, feeling those arms, the pinkies wrapping in as the thumbs open behind you. You'll feel the shoulder blades open, broaden across the back, little bend in the elbows. And elbows, and squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the heart, and we'll move with the breath again. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. Exhale, elbows wide. 2 more times. Just follow your breath now. Maybe taking that sweet exhale out your mouth. Try to relax your jaw, your throat. Last one. You take your hands to frame your front foot. Lift your back knee and swing that right leg up and back. We'll open the hip. So let the knee bend, pressing strongly through that right hand as you open the right hip. Gently start to square your hips and shoulders towards the floor. Flexing your ankle, turning all 5 toes to the ground. Take a big inhale, exhale, bring your right knee to kiss your left elbow. Shoulders over your wrist, hover and hold. Inhale, reach it up and back. 2 more times. Exhale, empty of the breath, pull the navel to the spine and shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, reach, push the floor away. Last one. Squeeze it, hold it, and reach. Right, this time, knee to nose, step your foot right between your hands. Warrior 1, pivot your back heel to the floor. Again, feeling your hips squaring forward as you reach your arms up. Keep bending your right knee, sending it right over your heel, pointing the knee right over the middle of your toes. Press down through that left heel, firming your left quad. Release the hands to your hips, straighten your right leg for pyramid. Again, re-square your hips, ground through that left heel as you lengthen your spine, hinging from the hips as you fold forward. Once you come about halfway down, you lower the fingertips to the floor, or option to use the block. Take an exhale, fold. Gently let the chin come towards the chest. Release the tension off the back of the neck and shoulders as you gently steer your hips. Right hip reaching back as your left hip gently steers forward. Keep your back heel glued to the floor. If it's not touching the floor, sometimes stepping the back foot in just a tad bit so that you can reground your foot. And a little bend in that right knee is fine. Always do what your body needs. Take one more deep breath here. Start to bend the right knee. Look forward to the front of your mat. As you exhale, step to the front and fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, sit your hips back and down into chair. Sweep those arms up. Reach up, belly in tight, and stand up. Hands to your heart, grounding down through your feet. Moving on. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway. Step your right leg back. Coming into a nice tall crescent lunge, you're right on the ball of your foot. So really feel that heel is active. You're really lifting and active, pushing through that back foot as you square those hips forward, reach your arms up. Maybe a slight bend in that right knee to lengthen down through the tail as you lift your heart. Take one more big inhale, exploring your back bend here as you lift your heart. Exhale, return your hands down towards the floor. And one-legged dog, left leg reaches up towards the sky. Again, open the hip, bending the knee, press down through that left hand. Feel that nice opening. And then we'll square it back up again. Squaring the hips and shoulders. Take a deep inhale. This time bring the left knee towards the left elbow. So nice and wide. Send the shoulders over your wrist, broaden the collarbone. Inhale, lift it up and back. Nice work. Here's the upper body work, right? Come forward. Use the core, full body. Belly pulls in tight. Inhale, reach it up and back. Last one, step it wide to the outside of your hand. Ooh, coming into this long lunge. Your hands are right to the inside here, right underneath your shoulders, keeping that right hand under your shoulder. Reach your left arm up, twisting, turning your navel towards your left thigh. Keep hugging the left thigh in towards your belly. Gaze follows up your left hand. Take one more big inhale. Slow exhale. Release your hand down. Look back at your right foot. Pivot your right heel down to the floor for warrior two. Ground down through your back foot as you cartwheel your arms up. Keep reaching your left knee, centering it over your toes, your middle toes. And feel that left hip pulling in and under, like your left sitting bone is reaching down for your right heel. Lift up to the heart, spread your arms out nice and wide. Let's flip the palms to face up towards the sky. Feel the shoulders relax down and reverse your warrior, reaching your left arm up, up and back. Big inhale. Exhale, side angle pose, elbow to knee. Reach your right arm up and over, turning your palm down as your gaze goes up. Chin is down right into that right shoulder. And then you spiral your heart open. Stay lifted. Keep reaching that left sit bone towards the right. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Flip the palms, straighten your left leg. We're going to reverse triangle. So reach the left arm up, sliding the right hand down your right leg, feeling that left side body open in preparation for triangle. Inhale as you come to the center. Exhale, reach it forward, create length, length, length. And once you can't reach anymore, lower your hand down to your shin, ankle, or a block. And you want to make sure your back heel is grounded. So if you kind of wiggle your back foot in a little bit just to feel your feet grounding, that way you can work from the feet, from the ground up to the pose as you start to lift your gaze up towards your right hand. Ready for half moon? All right, let's take our gaze down to the floor. Bend your left knee, walking your block a little bit out in front of that left foot. Kind of right to the pinky side edge of that left foot. And then you're going to slowly walk that right foot back in. Once it gets light, you lift that right leg up. Now you're squeezing all the muscles in that right leg into the bone. Flexing the ankle, turning those toes right towards the side wall of your room. All right, as you work into this pose, you start to really find that reach out from your core center as you hug all the muscles in nice and tight. Take one more big inhalation. Slow exhale, bend that left knee, big step back. Flip the palms, reverse your warrior, and cartwheel your hands all the way down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose, nice and firm, nice and strong. Push the floor away, take a big inhale. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Take that full exhale, one piece all the way to the ground. Nice, inhale, a little cobra, exhale, lower. One more inhale to upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Legs are firm, squeeze the glutes. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. Breathe. Little pedal of the heels. Keep creating that nice long lift through the spine. Let's look forward towards the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Jump or step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, hips low. Arms up. Belly in. Ribs down and stand up. Hands to heart. Ground down through all four corners of your feet and reconnect with your breath. Ready for the second side. Inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway to lengthen. Step your left foot back. Nice and long step back for your crescent lunge. Again, active through that back foot. Really feel the lift up through the foot. You can bend that left knee a little bit and then feel that right hip pulling back and hugging into the hip. Right? It's like that right femur pulls into that right hip socket. And then that left hip pulls forward and hugs in. So you feel the hips nice and firm here. Take one more big inhale, lifting up through the heart. Exhale, hands to the floor. One-legged dog, right leg swings up and back. Open the hips, bend the knee. Press down through the right hand. And now square it up. Square the hips, square the shoulders, point all 5 toes to the floor. Exhale, knee is wide to the outside of your right elbow. Hover, hold, belly tight. Inhale, reach. Try to lift that gaze in front of you. Keep your collarbone wide. Hold. Inhale, reach. One more time, stay with me, come forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee comes wide. Step your foot to the outside. Hands underneath your shoulders. Hug that right knee in, keeping your knee stacking over your ankle. Reach your right arm up as you twist. Keep lifting that left quad so you don't let that whole body all shift left. Try to keep yourself nice and even here. Knee pressing down, lining up over the foot. And release, hand to floor. Pivot the left heel to the floor for warrior 2. You can check your feet. Ground first and then inhale, cartwheel the arms up. Right? Sometimes you need to reorganize the feet. Really making sure we're grounding and working from our feet. Reaching that right knee over the toe. Pulling that right sit bone to reach down towards that left heel. Zip the low belly button up and in and relax the shoulders, flip the palms. Gaze is out over your right arm as you reverse your warrior. Keep reaching your right knee towards the front of your mat, opening up your right side body. Big breath into your right lung and coming back up through warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. Right elbow to knee, very soft. Reach your left arm up. You can look up towards your left arm. Turn the palm down to face down towards the floor.
Spread your finger wide. Turn your chin into that left underarm and spiral your left heart open. Fill up some nice big breaths into that left side body without sinking into the right. Inhale back to warrior two. Flip the palms. Reversed triangle. Straighten your right leg. Tip back like a little teapot. Press through your foot. Inhale through the center. Exhale, triangle. Landing your hand nice and soft here to shin, ankle, or a block. Gaze can go up towards your left arm. Lining your hand up right over your shoulder. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Now get ready for a half moon. Bend your right knee. Walk that hand way out in front. Slowly step that back foot in. It's kind of like a little slide. And then that leg gets light as you float and lift the leg. Engage it fully as you open the left hip over the right. Think of pulling that right sit bones in and down. And then you feel that core work, how you have to really hug in, knit those ribs in, especially for those of you who are extra flexible, it might flare those ribs out. So check yourself in space. And then coming out nice and slow, bend your right knee, big step back through the left foot. Warrior two, flipping your palms. Reverse your warrior for an inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. And step back through your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way to the floor, elbows into your sides. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Pedal through the heels. Body's feeling nice and warm. Now slowly lower down toward your knees. Lift your gaze, lift your tail, little cow or cat. Exhale, round your spine into cow. Sit your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Actively reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat as you sink your hips back and down. Inhale as you come back up to all fours. Crossing your ankles, sit your hips back, coming into a seated position. You're going to extend both of your legs out in front of you. And take your heels of your palms right by your sides. Now notice here, if you're feeling a lot of tension, maybe you feel that tension in your low back, maybe it's your back of your hamstrings. Oftentimes it can be both because they're all connected. It's like a big band along the back of your legs here. So if you need to bend your knees to sit up tall, do so. And with the heels of your palms right down, you lengthen up, chin is slightly tucked. And you can feel the shoulder blades drawing back and down so the chest is lifted and proud. Now look down at your feet and see if you can spread your toes out nice and wide, actively reaching those yogi toes. On an inhale, you can reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Reaching for your feet. Let your chin come toward your chest. Again, if your knees need to be bent, you can bend your knees. Sometimes, it can be nice to put a roll, like a blanket or a towel under the knees to give some support, especially if you've got those really tight hamstrings. That can be a nice way to give that support and allow you to stretch and open up those hamstrings in a more healthy way. Because like I said, it's connected to your back. So if you overstretch your hamstrings and you yank and you pull on them too much, you'll feel sometimes that tension in the back instead. All right, let's slowly come all the way up. Take your hands back behind you, turning the fingers towards the front of your mat or even slightly out to the side. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, little bend in your elbow, and step your feet in. Your feet can be a little wider than your hips. On an inhale, reverse table, you'll lift those hips up. This can be a big stretch for the front of the body, especially in front of the shoulders. All right, slowly lower down. All right, if you're really tight there, you can always explore a little bit of bending of the elbows and keep lifting and popping up through that chest to feel that nice stretch across the front of the body, the front of the chest. All right, now we're going to go ahead. We're going to find a little boat pose. So reach your hands forward, rocking back onto your sit bones. Lift those legs up. You can draw those legs closer towards one another. Pull your belly in tight and relax the shoulders. Create length through the spine. You want to find that little sweet spot. So let's go ahead and take our fingertips to the floor here and find that sweet spot of balance, especially if you're new to boat pose. It can be hard to really find where that is for you. Right? And you really have to feel it in your own body, finding that little spot, right? And then you feel the low belly pulling up and in. All right, let's hug those knees in towards your chest. And we're going to slowly lower down, nice and slow. Head and shoulders come to the floor. And now release your feet down towards the ground, feet hip width apart. Arms right by your sides, palms facing down towards the ground. Bridge pose. Inhale, lift your hips up. As you press down through your heels, press down through your shoulders, and press down through your arms and hands. Feel the chest getting closer towards the chin. Find that sense of ease in this very strong pose. Just holding it here, trying to center your knees right over your heels. Oftentimes, when doing this pose, when I teach this pose, I oftentimes see people's knees kind of pop out. And so really pay attention. Are your knees centered over your heels? Are you pressing down through your big toe mound and your pinky toe mound and then down through your heel? And feel that activate the muscles along the back side of your body. And then we'll come down nice and slow. Take that full exhalation to articulate the spine, lowering upper, middle, and lower back down to the floor. Oh, it always feels so good. Let's cross your right ankle over your left knee, opening your right knee out nice and wide, and hug your legs in toward your body. Reach your right hand through your legs. We're threading the needle here. The left arm sweeps around, and you can take your hands either behind the knee. Some people like it on top of the shin. Either way works just fine. And then once you get here, just take a little wiggle side to side. Just explore and feel where the sensations are in your body. And now we're going to explore a little twist. So keeping your legs just the way they are in this figure 4 shape, you're going to let go and let your arms spread out onto the floor and take your legs over towards the left. Right, try to keep your ankle on top of your knee, and then you might take your left hand and press your left leg away. I'm a little restricted because of the wall, but actually it's kind of nice because I'm pressing into it. I'm finding this sense of pressing down through that left hip. Try to reach my right hip towards the floor. It's got quite a big space here, but that idea of reaching that right hip as if it was going to land even. And then reaching that right shoulder out long. You can let your gaze go down your right arm. Take a nice deep breath here, in and out. And then we'll slowly come right back onto our back. And just take your hands on your knees, rock a little bit side to side. Let yourself center your weight down onto your back, and then return your feet to the floor. Second side for threading the needle, cross the left ankle over the knee. And flex the ankle, spread the toes. Let's pull those legs in towards your chest. You're going to reach the left arm through, and the right arm reaches around, hugging those legs closer towards your body. And again, a little rock here. Try to let the head and shoulders fall heavy to the floor. And then we get ready for the twist. Keeping the legs just the way they are, ankle stacking on top of the knee. You let go with your arms. Let your shoulders stay grounded, your head stay grounded, and allow the legs to fall over towards the right. Ideally here, we want to have that right knee in line with your hip, right? If it's a little lower, that's fine, but it's that idea. And again, this side is a little tighter for me, so I'm working here, trying my best to push that left knee away. I'm feeling a little bit more space through my left waistline here. Thinking of pressing that left hip away from the right. Again, this is this effort. You might not see this happening, but it's something more or less you feel in your body. And you meet the sensations with some nice deep breaths. Nice work. And we'll slowly take the legs back to the center, uncrossing those knees. You can hug those knees in. Again, rock a little side to side. Maybe exploring a little happy baby pose as you grab for your feet. Let your head rest towards the floor and try to lengthen your tail down towards the ground. Pulling those knees back towards the floor. And taking your time as we prepare for Shavasana, setting yourself up. If you like to add a little extra support with any props or a blanket, just taking a moment to set yourself up. Staying connected with those feelings and sensations in your body. Take one hand to your heart and the other hand down onto your belly. Allow the eyelids become heavy. Let go of holding on and just relax your jaw by letting the teeth separate. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Letting go of the thinking mind. And staying with this sense of feeling. Observing and watching. As your body becomes heavy, and surrender toward the earth. Let go of control, controlling your breath, and allow it to happen naturally. And just simply watch. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Taking that deep breath in and swallow. And take your time as you slowly start to roll on over towards your right side. Coming into a fetal position. Take your time as you slowly push your way up towards a comfortable seat of your choice. If you like, you can draw the hands together in front of the heart and just observing the subtle shifts of your mood, the subtle shifts of your energy. Noticing the movement of the mind, the ease in your breath. and the freedom in your body. Just bowing your head down in gratitude and love and light. And I like to salute to the light within you, the light within me, and the light within all living beings. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm hoping this practice leaves you